everybody, and welcome to Storm Reads. And today I'm going to be talking about my December TBR. And I told myself I was not going to do any more readathons. I was just going to have a relaxed December. And then I saw the Cloak and Dagger Christmas readathon. And so, yeah. But I told myself I would not do it if I couldn't fit in books that I needed to read or that were on a series that I'm already in the middle of or something like that, so that I could have a good excuse for doing the readathon. And so the readathon's hosted by Kate from Kate Howe's, Carolyn from Carolyn's Reading Ramblings, and Kate from the novel Nomad, Mel from Melanie Martin, and Janelle from Two Fonda Books. And it was Janelle's channel that I've seen this on, and I was like, oh man. So I had to do it, and that's okay. It's not a hard readathon or anything like that, and I've got my notes over here if you see me keep looking this way. But yeah, so it's got 9 prompts, and you can double up on prompts if you could find a book that would fit more than one prompt, which is what I did. And then one of the prompts is to like watch a show, and so that's not too hard. They did have a group read, but I probably won't be getting to that, so I'm not mentioning it. And then they were going to watch some episodes. They were going to watch an episode of Murder, She Wrote. That's the only Christmas episode that Murder, She Wrote had. I think it's in season 9 or something like that. I've seen it many times. I watch Murder, She Wrote all the time, so I have no problems with that. It's really interesting, though, that 12 seasons and they only had one Christmas episode. I think that is true. I think I only remember pretty much the one Christmas episode. And then they were going to watch something else, but I don't think we're going to get to it, and I can't remember what it was, and I didn't write it down. But anyway, so the first prompt is Inspector Bucket, and it's to read a Victorian mystery or one set in the Victorian era. And I was looking on Goodreads, or not Goodreads, but Google, to try to find a Victorian mystery or one set in Victorian times or anything like that. And I seen a series that I have been reading, but I have let fall by the wayside. And I am really, really trying to get back into some of these series and catch up on them. I have a whole sheet now of like a master sheet of all the series, at least that are on Goodreads. And if I whatever forgot to put any on there, I don't know. But I went through all my read books, wrote down all the series that I'm still interested in reading. And so I have like a huge sheet to go through. And I remember this being on there. And I remember reading them. And so this is Hellfire Conspiracy by Will Thomas. And it's the 4th book in the Barker and Llewellyn series. And this series is set in the Victorian era. And it says that they are rough-hewn private inquiry agents, which roughly translates into private detective. So I'm going to use it also for, let's see, number 7, which was Kinsey Milhone, read a book with a private detective. So I'm going to double that one up. And so the Hellfire Conspiracy says when Barker and Llewellyn are hired to find a girl from the upper classes who has gone missing in the East End, they assume her kidnapping is the work of white slavers. But when they discover 5 girls have been murdered in Bethnal Green, taunting letters begin to arrive in Craig's Court from the killer calling himself Mr. Micah. I can't pronounce it, whatever it is. It says Barker feels that this might be part of the Hellfire Club, a group of powerful, hedonistic aristocrats performing satanistic rituals. He must track the fiend to his hideout while Llewellyn confronts the man who put him in prison. And so Got a lot of things going on there, it looks like. I remember enjoying it. I don't think it was like a favorite series, but I did enjoy it enough. I would like to continue on with it. So I'm glad I was able to fit this into a couple of prompts. The next one I have is Inspector Gamache, and it's to read a bilingual detective or one set in a village. And I'm just really, not being very inventive with this one. I'm going to read The Madness of Crowds by Louise Penny, which is the latest Inspector Gamache book. So I know that it is a bilingual detective. So there we go. And it's, it will catch me up on the series. So I would like to do that and get caught up. And in this one, it says, "You're a coward. Time and again, as the New Year's approaches, that charge is leveled against Armand Gamache. It starts innocently enough. While the residents of Quebec Village in Three Pines takes advantage of the deep snow and ski and toboggan, to drink hot chocolate in the bistro, to share meals together, the chief inspector finds his holidays with his family interrupted by a simple request. He's asked to provide security for what promises to be a non-event. A visiting professor of statistics will be giving a lecture nearby university. While he is perplexed as to why the head of the homicide for the Sûreté de Quebec, I never can say that, would be assigned this task, it sounds easy enough. That is, until Gamache starts looking into the Professor Abigail Robinson and discovers an agenda so repulsive he begs the university to cancel the lecture. They refuse, citing academic freedom, and accuse Gamache of censorship and intellectual cowardice. Before long, Professor Robinson's views start seeping into the conversations, spreading and infecting, so that the truth and fact and reality and delusions are so confused it's near impossible to tell them apart. Discussions become debates, debates become arguments, which turns into fights. As sides are declared, a madness takes hold. Abigail Robinson promises that if they follow her, all will be well. But not. Gamache and his team know for everyone. But a murder is committed. When a murder is committed, it falls on Armand Gamache, his second-in-command, Jean-Guy, and their team to investigate the crime, as well as extraordinary popular delusion and the madness of crowds. So, it sounds like it could be interesting, I hope. I've kind of been up and down with this series, but I do want to get this one finished so I don't get behind and I can claim to be all caught up on the series. So, the next one is Tommy and Tuppence. Read a mystery with a great partnership or team. And since I just read the first book in this series, I thought I would go ahead and jump on the second book so I can get caught up on this series. And so I'm going to read The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. This is the second book in the Thursday Murder Club series. I really enjoyed the first one. It was a lot of fun. So it was a no-brainer. There is a fun team of seniors in here that solve crimes, and so yeah, it's fun. It says, it's the following Thursday. Elizabeth has received a letter from an old colleague, a man with whom she has a long history. He's made a big mistake, and he needs her help. His story involves stolen diamonds, a violent mobster, and a very real threat to his life. As bodies start piling up, Elizabeth enlists Joyce, Ibrahim, and Ron in the hunt for a ruthless murder. If they find the diamonds too, well, that would be a bonus. But this time they are up against an enemy that wouldn't bat an eyelid at knocking off 4 septuagenarians. Can the Thursday Murder Club find the killer and the diamonds before the killer finds them? So I'm excited to get to this one, and it sounds like it'll be really good. I am also going to use The Man Who Died Twice for Detective Galileo. I can't. My tongue just won't do it. Anyway, it's to read a translated mystery or one set in a country different from yours. And since I know this is set in England, I'm just going to go ahead and use that one here. So the next one is Agatha Raisin, and it's to read a mystery with an amateur sleuth. And I have a January release from Poison Pen Press, and I'm trying to stay up on my e-arcs and things like that, and so I decided to go with Up to No Gouda by Linda Riley. And this is the first book in a grilled cheese mystery. And I've not read a series with a grilled cheese eatery, so I thought that sounded like it would be cool. And let's see. It says, back in Balsam Dell to heal after the death of her husband, Carly Hale is finally pursuing her lifelong dream, opening Carly's Grilled Cheese Eatery. After only 5 months, business is booming as Vermont vacationers and townspeople alike flock to lunch on her party Havardis and other grilled cheese concoctions. All but Lyle Bagley, Carl's one-time high school boyfriend and now town bully, who has just bought the building that houses the eatery and wants Carly out. After a monster of a fight, Carly is forced to put her nose to the Rhine and find a solution to keep her business afloat. That is, until Lyle is discovered dead behind the dumpster of Carly's shop, and one of her employees becomes a prime suspect. In order to save her eatery and prove her friend's innocent, Carly must sleuth out the killer before she's the one who gets grilled. With a delightful cast of characters, an innovative amateur sleuth, and a whole host of cheesy hijinks, Up to No Gouda is a perfect cozy mystery to melt into. I just love cozies. So the next one is Hercule Poirot, and it is to read a Golden Age mystery or one set between 1920 and 1945. And I'm, being real original again with this one because I'm going to read Agatha Christie's The Mystery of the Blue Train, which is the next book in the Hercule Poirot series that I need to read. And it came out in 1928, I believe. So it's still in the middle of like the Golden Age era, I believe. So there's that, which is the next book in the Hercule Poirot series that I need to read. This is number 6. It says, a mysterious woman, a legendary cursed jewel, a night train from London to the French Riviera, ingredients for the perfect romance or the perfect crime. When the train stops, the jewel is missing, the woman is found dead in her compartment. It's a perfect mystery filled with passion, greed, deceit, and confusion. Hercule Poirot is the perfect detective to solve it. So, we'll see. I wasn't a big fan of the one before this, so I'm hoping the series will redeem itself with this one. Because I really like Hercule Poirot and his little gray sails. So the last of the prompts that I need to read something for is Flavia Deluce. I don't know if that's right or not, but it's to read a children's mystery or start a new to you series. So I have 2 for this because I want to read them both, and one of them was an anticipated read from last year that I didn't get to, and then one of them is a book I have for this year that I want to read, so I just thought I'd go ahead and put 2 in here. And so that's Every Missing Piece by Melanie Conklin. And so this one says, Maddie Gaines sees danger everywhere she looks. At the bus stop, around the roller rink, in the woods, and especially by the ocean. When Maddie meets a mysterious boy setting booby traps in North Carolina woods, she suspects the worst. Maddie is certain she's found Billy Holcomb, a boy who went missing in the fall. Except, maybe it's not him. It's been 6 months since he disappeared. And who will believe her anyway? Definitely not her mom or her stepdad or the chief of police. As Maddie tries to uncover the truth about Billy Holcomb's ghost from her past surface, her best friend starts to slip away and Maddie's world tilts once again. Can she put the pieces of her life back together, even if some of them are lost forever? And it just sounds like a good mystery. And it has a cute little dog. And so I'm always a sucker for dogs. And I also have received this one, Fearless by Mandy Gonzalez, for review from Simon and Schuster. And so I wanted to get to this one. And it's short. I mean, kids' books are fairly short usually. Usually. There are some chunky ones. And this one just sounds like it'd be really cute. And it says it's a Broadway musical, a haunted theater, a mystery to solve, and a cast of brilliant young actors. What's not to adore? So it's supposed to have a mystery in it. Let's see, it says 12-year-old Monica Garcia has arrived in New York with her grandmother and her suitcases to live the dream on Broadway. She's been chosen as the understudy for the star of our time, the famed Ethel Merman Theater's last chance to produce a hit before it shuts its doors for good. Along with her fellow castmates, aka the Squad, Monica has big and very personal reasons to want this show to succeed. But rumors of a long-running curse plagues the theater. And when strange and terrible things start to threaten their hopes for a successful opening night, Monica and the rest of the squad must figure out how to reverse the curse before their big Broadway debut. With the help of a few new friends, her family, and a little magic, can Monica help save the show and save their dreams? From Broadway television star Mandy Gonzalez comes a story about what it means to dream big, be yourself, and to be fearless. So this one looks like it's going to be cute, and I can't wait to get to it. And that's everything that I'm going to be reading for the Cloak and Dagger Christmas Readathon. Yeah, not any Christmas books in there or anything like that, but, you know, I do have some Christmas mysteries. I just didn't have them in that. And the 9th one is Columbo, and it's to watch an episode of a mystery TV show. So, you know, I'll probably watch Columbo for that since it's Columbo. But then I could watch, you know, Murder, She Wrote. I could watch Midsommar Murders. There are tons of mystery shows that I watch. There are some new ones on Acorn TV that I might give a chance to. I don't know, but the list is endless. So I do have a selection of buddy reads that I am doing in December, and way more than normal, it feels like. But, you know, everybody wants to read the Christmas books, and I figured might as well just jump on there and read them. So one book, though, is not Christmas, and that is Paradise Valley by Robin Carr. This is number 7 in Virgin River series, and I am buddy reading this with my friend Barb. We have been reading this series, and it is a lot of fun. It's kind of fluffy reads, and we just decided that, you know, we're just going to go for another easy fluffy read for December. And because we do have a lot, like, I know I have a big TBR, and I'm sure she probably does too, of wanting to read some, like, Christmas books and things like that. So we just needed an easy buddy read together. This one is about Marine Corporal Rick Sutter is home early from Iraq. His tour ended abruptly on the battlefield. The carefree boy is gone, replaced by the man who believes his future is as bleak as his mirror image. But can the passion and commitment of a young woman who has never gave up on him mend his broken body and shattered heart? As the people of Virgin River rally around Rick, another recent arrival tests the tightly knit mountain town's famous welcoming spirit. Dan Brady has a questionable past, and he's looking for a place to start over. He'd like it to be Virgin River if he can find a way in. But he never expects to find it in the arms of a woman who was as much of an outcast as himself. So I really like Rick, and it's going to be kind of fun to see him grown up as a Marine Corporal, because in, like, the first book, he was 18, just getting out of high school, and deciding that, what he wanted to do and if he wanted to go into the Marines, like his kind of role models and stuff are like Jack and Preacher and them and stuff. So it's kind of, it'll be good to have him back, grown up, after he's been in, like, you know, Iraq and had some tours, and he's not going to be that young kid that he was. And I'm kind of curious to see, like, what's that's going to be like. I'm not quite sure about this Dan Brady character. And I'm pretty sure I know the character he is on the Virgin River TV show, and I don't like him on there either. The next one I have is Dear Santa by Debbie May Comer, and I got this as an e-art from Valentine Books. And so I knew, even though it came out, I think a couple months ago, I wanted to save it to when it was more around Christmas. That's usually what I do. I love Debbie May Comer's Christmas books. And so I asked people in the Killing Time with Cozy's Discord if they would like to buddy read this with me. So there's a whole slew of them in there. So it's kind of like a group read now. And Mr. Francie from Mr. Francie Reads, and some of the ones in his Discord are going to read it too. And so we got a whole group going. And so that'll be really fun. And I can't wait to buddy read this with them and Mr. Francie. It says, Lindy Carmichael isn't feeling particularly joyful when she returns home from Wenatchee, Washington for Christmas. The man she thought was the one has cheated on her with her best friend, and she feels completely devoid of creativity in her graphic design job. Not even carolers or Christmas cookies can cheer her up, but Lindy's mother, Ellen, remembers an old tradition that might lift her daughter's spirits. Reading through a box of childhood letters to Santa and reminiscing about what she wished for as a young girl may be just the inspiration Lindy needs. With Ellen's encouragement, she decides to write a new letter to Santa, one that will encourage her to have faith, believe just as she'd done all those years ago. Little does Lindy know that this exercise in gratitude will cause her wishes to unfold before her in miraculous ways. And thanks to some fateful twist of Christmas magic, especially an unexpected connection with a handsome former classmate, Lindsay ultimately realizes that there is truly no place like home for the holidays. And the next one is also kind of a buddy read with the Killing Time with Cozy's group, and this is In Peppermint Peril by Joe Avon. This is the first book in a book tea shop mystery. So, I mean, a book tea shop sounds like right up my alley. Though I'm not really a big tea drinker, but the book part. Says, in the run-up to Christmas Eve, organizer of book-themed tea parties, Callie Aspen and her lovable Boston Terrier will have to conquer threefold trouble: a mysterious will, a missing heirloom, and a dead body to restore the festive spirit in their small town. So that sounds like it's going to be super good, and so I can't wait to get to this one. I just love Christmas cozies, and so I'm getting to read a lot of them this go around. And the next one is Jingle All the Sleigh by Dakota Cassidy, and it's the first in, I think it's Marshmallow Hollow, yeah, in the Marshmallow Hollow series. And this one I'm going to be buddy reading with Ro and any of the other ones in the Killing Time with Cozy group that wants to do it. They're really short. Probably listen to it on audio. Usually they're like about 4 or 5 hours on audio. And if we like the first one, then we might go ahead and read some of the other ones. I think there's like maybe 3 or 4. And I do believe they're all like Christmassy themed. It says, I'm Holiday Valentine. Yep, funny names are funny. A psychic witch who recently moved from New York back to my very human hometown of Marshmallow Hollow, where I run the family factory that caters all things Christmas. I inherited the factory from Mom, who inherited it from Nana Karen, but now it's just kind of me. Kind of a long story. My curmudgeonly British familiar hummingbird, Atticus, one ungrateful rescue cat, my talking reindeer, Karen, and my BFF Styles, the only human aware of my witchy side. I've read a few, well, actually, I've read a lot of Dakota Cassidy books, and usually she has quirky characters, weird names. They're just usually fun and kind of crazy and things like that. And so I'm curious to see how this one's going to be because I'm pretty sure it'll be a lot of fun. And then the last buddy read is a +1 for Murder by Laura Bradford. And I'm going to read this with Tiffany and anybody else who was going to read it maybe in the Killing Time with Cozy's group if they were going to read it. I don't know. I know Tiffany was wanting to see if anybody wanted to read this. And since I won this off of Goodreads, I don't hardly ever win anything. So I was excited. And it was actually from an author that I extremely love. And this is the first in the new series. It is a Friend for Hire mystery. And so, yeah, I'm super excited to read this one in December. It says, entrepreneur Emma Westlake discovers that friendship can be murder in this exciting new mystery series by bestselling author Laura Bradford. So she this video is getting too long, so I'm just going to say she sets up a business as being a friend for hire, and it says Stephanie needs a workout partner. Writer Brian Hill ask Emma to be his cheering section on open and mic night and things like that, and then somebody is murdered and she's going to end up having to solve the crime. So I'm excited to get to this one. But wait, there's more. The last book of the series read along that I'm doing with Killing Time with Cozy, so I guess you could kind of call it a buddy read because it's a series read along that we're all doing. But this is Mistletoe, Musaka, and Murder by Tina Cashian, and it happens to be Christmas themed too, so we're ending it with a Christmas one in December, and we all thought that was kind of kismet and meant we were supposed to read this series when we started it. It's not been a favorite series. It's just an okay series. I did DNF one of the books because I just wasn't into it. But I enjoyed the last book that I read, so I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy this one. This one says, who would kill a man in cold blood during Ocean Crest, New Jersey's most popular winter event? When Lucy learns the victim is Deacon Spooner, a reception hall owner who turns up his nose and his price at wedding plans, she can't help but wonder who wouldn't kill the pompous caterer. So, sounds like it'll be pretty interesting. We think this is the final book in the series, but since it came out, I believe, in 2020? Yeah, it came out in 2020, so you never know because she could pop in another one. But if not, I think it's going to end on a good note with what's going to be happening in this one. So that means I can check off another series that I've either at least caught up with or finished. So then the horror book club that I am in is doing a Christmas read, kind of. It's a Christmas horror. It's a Secret Santa by Andrew Schaefer. And it says, The Office meets Stephen King dressed up in a holiday tinsel in this fun, festive, frighteningly horror comedy set during a horror publishing boom of the 80s by New York best-selling satirist Andrew Schaefer. So, I'm really curious to see how this is going to go. I don't know a lot about it. Don't really want to. When it comes to horror, I don't like to know a whole lot. But, I don't know. The cover is so cute. And there's something evil in that box. I don't know what it is, but I can't wait to find out. Then I have some e-arcs that I would like to try to catch up on. And so, When We Were Them by Laura Taylor Namey. This one came out in November. I just didn't get around to it. It's from Simon & Schuster, and so I would like to try to fit it in this December. And it's a young adult, contemporary. It says, when they were 15, Willa, Luz, and Brighton had a friendship that was everything. When they were 16, they stood by one another no matter what. When they were 17, they went through their worst. And when they were 18, Willa ruined it all. Now, the week of graduation, Willa is left with only a memory box filled with symbols of friendship she's nearly destroyed. A book of pranks, corsage from Nightmarish Homecoming, a greasy pizza menu, greeting cards from words that meant the world. It's enough to make Willa wonder how anything could tear her, Luz, and Brighton apart. But as Willa revisits the moments when she and her friends leaned on one another, she can't avoid the moment that they leaned so hard their friendship began to crack. So I'm kind of up and down with young adult contemporary, but I hope I like this one. Gonna have another Christmas one. This is Sleigh Bells Ring by Readathon, and I got this one from Harlequin. And I've always heard good things about this author, but I've never actually read any of her books. So when I saw this one, and it just had the kind of Christmas cover that calls to me. I don't know what it is about the old trucks with the Christmas stuff around it, but I always like those. It says ranch manager Angie McCade thought her twin niece and nephew would join her at Angel View Ranch for Christmas, with her absent employer being none the wiser. But when the ranch owner, Tate Sheridan, shows up out of the blue, Annie's plans are upended. Soon she finds herself helping Tate make Christmas to remember for his grieving and fractured extended family. So, it's Christmas romance. It'll probably be sweet. Like I said, I've heard good things about this author, so I'm looking forward to giving her a try and see what I think. And as if I don't have enough Christmas, I have one more. It's beginning to look a lot like Murder by Maria Del Rico. This is the third book in a catering mystery series. It's not my favorite, but I do like the author, so I keep hoping that this one's going to grow on me. I got this one from Kensington, and the author is actually Ellen Byron, who has one of my favorite mystery series. So I really do hope that I'm going to warm up to this one eventually, but it's just so-so. Okay, this one says, Mia is busy with a full schedule of events, family, business. Among them are over-the-top nativity-themed first birthday party, a sweet 16 for a teenage drama queen, when her personal life is even more challenging. But her personal life is even more challenging. Her estranged mother has returned, and her lifelong friend Jamie has discovered a shocking secret about his past. He's so angry that he starts hanging out with Lorenzo, who claims to be his long-lost brother, even after it's become clear that Lorenzo's story is as fake as plastic Christmas tree. Then a body turns up among the elves and Santa's workshop lawn display, amateur sleuth Mia has a buffet of suspects to choose from. Amid the holiday celebration, she intends to find out who is the guilty party. Okay, so just a couple more to go. I would like to try to get a jump on some of my 2022 books that I have for review. So I would like to try to fit in Dream Spies by Nicole Lesperance, and this is the second book in the Nightmare Thief series. I don't know if it's a series or... It says it's a duology. So this will be the last book in the series. And I thought the first one was kind of cute, so I was kind of curious to see how it was going to go. And this says, Marin's life has finally gone back to normal. Her sister Haley's doing much better. They are both working for the family dream shop, and there's no signs of Obscura, the evil nightmare thief. But when Lishta, Marin's grandmother, finds an ad for a sleepaway camp designed for dreamers, alarm bells start to ring. Lishta never heard the camp director, and she's worried and wants to investigate. Marin and Haley pose as campers, with Lista taking a job as the lunch lady. Almost immediately, something seems off. Campers start randomly singing the same song. A whole bunch of girls do their hair the exact same way, and everyone wakes up from their dreams with strange, identical cravings. Things go from bad to worse when campers start sleepwalking, and no one can wake them. So when Marin and Haley investigates, they discover a nefarious plot by some secret mastermind. So, sounds like it's going to be super cute, and so I can't wait to get this one done, and then I will have another, like, series finished, duology finished, or whatever. That'll be good. And get a jump on 2022. Then I have one more, and that is a 3-book problem by Vicki Delaney. This is the latest book in the Sherlock Holmes Bookshop series. It's from Crooked Lane Books, and one of my favorite series, so I always like to jump the gun on this one if I get accepted to read the E-Arc, and so can't wait to get to this one. And I do believe this one comes out in January as well as the Dream Spy one. It's crisp early October weekend, and businesses is slowing down as fall descends on Sherlock Holmes Bookshop and the Emporium that's adjacent Mrs. Hudson Tea Room. Wealthy philanthropist and prominent Sherlockian, okay, that's a word, Sherlockian, David Masterson has rented Suffolk Garden House where he plans to entertain his friends in a traditional English country house weekend. As the chosen caterer, Jane Watson and Gemma Doyle get to work preparing lavish meals and set up the Sherlockian books and props for entertainment. Meanwhile, police detective Ryan Ashburton has taken time away from his duties to assist in the kitchen. It quickly becomes apparent that David's guests don't like each other or their host. But some of them aren't even acquainted with the adventures of the great detective. Before Gemma can ponder the relationship as poison darts sail through the windows of the library, presenting Gemma Doyle with a 3-book problem. I don't think you necessarily have to be like a huge fan of Sherlock Holmes to read this series. It just has a lot of Sherlock type stuff going on, like David, who is a Sherlockian. And he like absolutely loves Sherlock, and he's probably the only one in the actual series that is like a diehard Sherlock fan. And so, yeah, I'm excited to get into that one, and I am excited to get to pretty much all of these books. So I'm hoping that I can get to them all. There is way more Christmas on here than I have ever read, I think, in my entire life, because I don't normally read that many Christmas books. There's a lot of Christmas cozies, and I always have to put at least a couple Christmas romances, and so it just kind of blossomed from there. So there you have it. Everything that I would like to read in December. We'll see how it goes, because I do have a lot of things that I want to work on, you know, getting ready for the goals that I want for next year, videos about my favorites and my not so favorites and things like that. So there's a lot going on in December, but at the same time, I really hope I can get to all these. A lot of them I can find on audiobooks, so that will help. Have you read any of these? Do you want to read any of these? If you would like to buddy read any of these books, let me know. I do have a Discord, and I'll put it below. It's just kind of a buddy read Discord, but I would like to grow it into a place where people can come and chat about any books, whether it's cozy or non-cozy, and just kind of have fun and hang out in the Discord. So I will put that down below, and if you are not already in there, go ahead and jump in there, and maybe we can make it a little bit more lively than it is right now, because it's kind of small and not very chatty, and I would like it to be more chatty. So also, have you read any of these? You could let me know what you think about them. Just don't spoil. And I hope you guys have a really fun December with lots of cool Christmas things going on. I'm not, I'm more of a Grinch than I am a Christmas person, but I'm trying to make myself kind of Christmas, hence the hat and everything. So if anything, you can chat with me down in the comments and make me feel a lot more Christmassy. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.